Hey everybody, it's Greg and Steve here. We're at the Golfish booth with Patrick, a famed golf photographer here.
And Golfish ambassador.
And Golfish ambassador.
Oh, yeah.
We got 3 Golfish ambassadors right here.
We do.
Some of the best clothing in the business, most comfortable clothing you can find out here. If you're looking for stuff, look for Golfish right there. So Patrick, welcome. And tell us a little bit about yourself, and we'll get started from there.
Okay, well, I mean, I love golf. You know?
Oh, well, we do too. So.
I think that's why, we're here at the PGA show, and everybody around us loves golf. And that's what makes this this such a fun day, is everybody's like really excited that they mix in their business with their passion, and you get to see faces that you haven't seen in a while, which is fun. Now, I've been coming here, this is probably my 7th or 8th PGA show, and each one gets a little bit better. I grow a little bit more as a professional golf course photographer, and it's another reason to come. And now it's kind of fun because I've been doing this for some time, and now I see people kind of coming up below me, and the youngsters. It kind of reminds me that I'm getting a little bit older.
So we are too. So when you're walking around the show, so I have to ask from a photography standpoint. I mean, we have our camera set up right here.
Yeah.
Do you do what I do, and you're looking at everyone's rig and what they have and all the different cameras that they have, and think like, oh, what is that? I got this, and they got that.
Yeah.
Here, and why are they carrying so much sometimes?
Yeah, I kind of know that I've been doing it enough. I know that I got what I need.
Exactly. That's
so,
it.
So the latest and greatest, I'm pretty on top of it when a photography perspective. But most of these guys are doing different stuff. Like what I do is very different than what somebody's going to be creating content at the PGA show. Like a rig like this is real nice. Look at that. Kind of nice, handy to carry. And
small and compact, the way we go in the podcast industry.
Yeah, and it gets the job done. So I love equipment, but I'm more of a golf. I'm also a field player. I look for, does it catch my eye? How does the light look in composition? I don't need that. I don't need equipment to do those sort of things. The same with golf. I'm just going to hit this fade. I'm feeling a fade. I'm going to fade it in there, land it, cozy it up nice and tight. So that's kind of my approach.
Feel the landscape and feel what you're going for.
Right. Yeah.
Nice.
Very true.
What you've done a ton. You've written a book.
Yeah.
You had a book written about you.
Yeah.
You got that here, Golf Bomb. We're going to get into that in a minute here. But when you look back at this point in your life, having written a book with all the photography that you've done, what would you say is your greatest achievement?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know if I'm ready to say greatest achievement. Yeah, because it's kind of funny. I have kind of done a lot of things that I would have, looking back, would have blown my mind as just a young kid, that I would be able to do this for a living. That my world record in 2023 was a pretty great.
How many rounds?
Pretty great moment.
Hold on. I did 12 last year. How close am I to your?
Yeah. You're going to have to step it up.
Okay, I didn't get a lot of golf in last year.
You're going to have to go for it. No, but it was 580 different golf courses in 2023, which set the world record.
Wow!
And that's what this book is about. So I got to say that accomplishment is probably that. Other than being a dad, that's probably it.
Cool. I got to ask this question because I know my favorite course that I've been on aesthetically is probably a course you've been to in Tobacco Road.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. What's your favorite course you've ever photographed?
Man, Tobacco Road is great. I think I've been there 5 times now, and I usually don't go back to a place that I don't really love.
Yeah.
I go back 5 times because I love to explore and see new stuff. So if I go back, that shows you there's something cool there.
Yeah.
Tobacco Road's cool about that is that it's like an everyman's course.
Yeah.
The next 4 courses that I'm going to tell you are not going to be accessible to most. And that's good and bad. It's great if you have access.
Yeah.
But it's there's certain courses that are hard to beat, and most people, there's lists about these sort of things. But Cypress Point will knock your socks off every time.
Beautiful course.
Yeah.
Beautiful little place. That's a private place on the Monterey Peninsula with just some of the greatest oceanside holes that you'll ever see.
Yeah.
And then the holes through the dunes are spectacular. Maybe my favorite, like 7, 8, 9 there are really, if you know how good they are. Some other, Chambers Bay is one of my favorites to shoot.
Okay.
Chambers Bay is another public place that people can go. And
Very West Coast bias here so far.
West Coast bias so far. But then we switch over to the greatest golf course in the world, with a place called Pine Valley, which has all.
I grew up in New Jersey, so
Yeah, so you know.
I know that one.
It's right next to the world famous Clementon Splash Park, which if you know about Pine Valley, you drive past this old rickety water park, and that's how you know you're about to play Pine Valley, or go to the water park, depending on what sort of person you are. But I always like to go to the golf club, and I've only been once. It's exciting invitation, and that place is not only very visually amazing, but it's also, it's got everything that you would look for in a golf course, from variety to challenge to recoverability. There's all these things that you might look at.
You wouldn't expect you're in New Jersey for this one, I'll be honest with you.
No, it's kind of like this glacial sand deposit below the pines. I don't know how many valleys there are. There's quite a few valleys, quite a few pines. And it's just this place. Having seen 1,876 golf courses in my lifetime.
Only 1,876?
It's a big number, especially when you start counting. You realize how much that really is, and that one stands above in just about every category. So I love Pine Valley.
So those rankings out there aren't just fluff. It lives up to the hype.
Yeah,
They
really do. Some of the top 25 are pretty nailed down. You don't see much change in those, and that's for good reason. And golf is getting more and more dense. There's better courses in the top 200 and these other things. So, and social media's done a good job of uncovering what those are. There's not too many hidden gems about it anymore.
Yeah, I think they're all. People have found those nooks and crannies in the golf world for those hidden gems, but they're still fun to go and explore those. So when you're out there, and let's say you're photographing a new course out there, what are those kind of things are you looking for, to get it at early in the morning, the afternoon, to get the best kind of lighting and photo for what you're looking for?
Yeah, it just came from a shoot at Casa de Campo.
Okay.
And so...
You know what? I saw those pictures online.
Oh, they're so good. And then it doesn't matter. You just show up and you take a picture and you're good to go. No, but seriously, the sunrises and sunsets, so they call them the golden hour. Yep. So most photographers or anybody that knows anything about photography will let you know that lighting is the most important. Yeah. And that starts at 7 a.m., 6 a.m. Sometimes it's depending on where you're at in the country, the sun can get up around 5, and you got about an hour where the light is low, the shadows are long, the golf course is beautiful. I tend to like the sunset rounds a little bit better. You don't have to get up early, and the maintenance crews are typically not out there, and the dew doesn't reflect as much. Personally, that's my take. I do love some good crispy dew shots in the morning. So those are the times when you're getting your best photographs.
Could have had the frost shots here yesterday in Central Florida. Those were real fun.
I will tell you, my friend and I, we went out on a Saturday evening one time to play golf. It was the only time we could get out. And about halfway through the round, we were like, all right, Saturday evening golf is now our new favorite thing, because you get that lighting there, and it's just fun. It's not too hot. The sun's not bearing down.
Starts to cool down.
Exactly. So that's great. That's what you're looking for.
And there's a certain culmination. The sunset. You're kind of racing towards that, and once you kind of finish, and you with your photo shoot or your round of golf, it's kind of a fun sort of thing. But I will say, some of my most popular photographs are usually a little different than that. Okay. Probably my most liked one on social media was the shot of the old course after it had snowed.
Oh wow!
And we're staying at Rustics there, right on the 18th at the old course, and we woke up because we were doing content. We're creating show for, I think it was MasterCard or something, and we were like, oh no, snow. We thought we were snowed out, and then a second later we're like, wait a second.
Oh no, snow!
This is awesome! And so we ran out there, and it's a cool shot of the road hole, the 18th hole, the town of St. Andrews in the back, and the kind of this glowy green sky, completely covered in snow.
That's awesome.
Stuff like that is usually you got to be there and capture the moment. That's what photography is about.
So you've done a lot of photography. We talked about a lot of photography, but you're also playing these courses.
Yeah.
What's your favorite, either type of course to play, or what's been your favorite course that you've gotten to play and photograph?
Yeah, it's a good question. I love the links courses.
Okay.
I love the links courses. I always tell my clients that me playing the golf course is part of my process. And if it
course it is.
sounds funny.
We told them that too.
Yeah. Part of it, I got to play. But it is actually, there's some merit to that. Because it's important to see the golf course as a photographer or as a golfer, and then to know what they're looking at and kind of the feeling of like what this hole is about. And there's something intangible about passion, knowledge, details that does come through in that final product that I hand over to my clients that they pay me for. And so I was like, I want to take every advantage that I can to get them the very best imagery. And that's how you become the best at something. It's tireless work, and it's attention to detail. And it's not just kind of mailing it in. I think that's something that the best professionals do, and I'm committed to doing that for my clients. But so you got to play. You got to play as well.
I think that's a big thing because I had a buddy here helping us who's a professional photographer as well, and he does a lot of dives with military and shark reefs, and he's a diver himself, and he gets those better shots because he's a diver. He knows what that is.
Yes.
So the same thing for you as a golfer. You know what you're looking for when you're on the course, and you know
100%.
what to expect out there and what other golfers are looking at. So that is part of the process.
I do work with a lot of my clients will come to me after they've hired a photographer that was like photographing the food, and you take pictures of the golf course too. And the photos they show me are they're kind of funny because like they don't realize what they're looking at.
Yeah.
And what's interesting. So as a golf course lover, you can see this course is unique because it has this, or this tells a story because of this, and this is not like another place. Whereas if you don't really know that and have a really good high-level golf, even if you do play golf, you don't pick up on those details that are actually what golfers are inspired by, interested in, and it actually makes a huge difference.
Yeah, it's what we see on the course when we're out there. When we're trying to look for our shot, we see these different angles that are out there that if someone who's not a golfer, they're just like, oh, there's the flag, and they're going to take the generic stuff.
But it also speaks to, booking rounds, because ultimately my golf photography is designed to get people excited to play the golf.
Exactly.
And so if they see a photograph, they're like, oh, I've seen that before. No, I've played that before. But like if I capture something that's interesting, they haven't, they're like, oh, I need to go play that place. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get people to say, I need to get out of my seat or go book a plane and like go play. And those are my favorite comments when the people see it and they're like, a couple people, somebody told me that they played.
Swipe over and I'm booking that now.
Yeah. I had somebody that told me, say they booked a trip to France to play a golf course that they saw photos of me. I was like, that's amazing. That was today. And so it's like, yeehaw.
I'm going to have to go do that. My brother lives in France.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to go get over to that course. So.
It was a place called Golf de Saint Cloud, and you can see the Eiffel Tower in the distance from a couple of the holes.
All right, my brother just got in town today, so I might have to fly back with him to Paris to go play that course now. So.
It's a good one. It's a good one. You should go.
So you tell a story through photos.
Yeah.
You spent a year setting the record for the most golf courses, and somebody wrote a story about you doing this.
Yeah, they did.
And it's called Golf Bum. We've got a copy of it right here.
Look at that.
And it's a great picture book of a lot. I flipped through, and there's some courses that I've played that I've seen in there, some great photos of those courses. What was it like to have somebody tell a story about you?
It was fun. The process with Johnny Vacay, and it's a heavy book, too.
Yeah, it is.
It's a good piece. It's like that's really nice.
If Steve gets me upset, just
Thanks.
get back in line there.
Yeah, so Johnny Vacay, he's a friend now. I call him a friend because we set up a series of interviews, and we would just talk late at night because we're both kind of night owls,
Okay.
and we would just chat. And we went through state by state, and it was an interesting process because it's not a biography here. I'm not a Hollywood celebrity. And,
I think you are, but
well,
To the golf industry, you are.
to the golf industry, and so there's not as many words as there are. The pictures kind of speak to it, but
yeah.
he did a great job of kind of summarizing each state. So I got to relive my journey, state by state. So we
I'm
talked
going to where
about.
I live right now. I know that.
We're going to
That's
Indiana.
a deep dive.
Yeah, that's the Purdue Boilermaker complex. There's each one of these is a story. Like I remember South Bend. I mean, I could talk 20 minutes about this day at South Bend.
At the Warren course?
Oh yeah, there's a story about that that has nothing to do with the golf course, and that South Bend Country Club.
Indy Speedway, the Brickyard,
inside of the Indianapolis 500.
I always tell people about this course. It's a great course. My favorite holes, on the outside of the speedway.
Yeah.
Like the 4 holes on the inside,
Yeah.
you're just in the speedway and it's fun to look at.
Yeah, it's exciting. The novelty of playing inside of the world's greatest racetrack
Yes.
is 100%. Everybody should do it. And the holes they're okay, but you're not there for the golf holes. You're what's around it. This is like many things in golf.
So I want to ask you a question about this specifically, just because I happened to turn to this. Did you have cars racing around the track that day?
There was sometimes they do get like the full-on Indy cars, but they had some company had rented out like a BMW Experience.
Yep.
So they had these souped-up BMWs.
I had that with Mustangs the one day I was playing out there.
And they were jamming, so they were making some noise, but he's like, when it's full-on, like it's wild, it's loud, you know.
We played we went up to French Lick this year, and on the way back, he had to leave early, and we stopped and played the foul course.
Oh,
that's in here too.
Oh, the foul course. There it is. This is the Big Ten. You're gonna want to get a good look at this. Not the photo, but down there, that's the Big Ten from Indiana University. A student there.
National champions.
And Indiana, let's not forget that Indiana University is the national football champions at this point.
Yeah.
But I went to school there, and I got this something called the Big Ten, which used to be $10. You get.
Oh, you're an IU grad?
IU grad.
Oh.
You get 10
There you go.
breadsticks, you get 10 slices of pizza, and it's only $10. It's now they pumped it up because inflation. It's like $20 now. But I got it. And I remember as soon as I played the foul course on my world record-setting thing, I parked my RV in the parking lot of Assembly Hall, which was cool on its own right. Yeah. And I ordered, the delivery guy came up to my RV, gave me that Big Ten, and it was like, it shot me maybe 25 years back directly as I was a sophomore in college all over again. So
my son and my favorite restaurant is Buffalo Louie's out of
Oh, yeah.
They
Yeah,
have
Buffalo
one by my house
Yeah.
now. They have a second location in Carmel, Indiana now.
Oh yeah, I love Buffalo Louie's. But the Big Ten, oh man,
That looks
Are you
good.
getting hungry?
I am getting hungry.
Yeah.
I should have brought one for you. If I would have known, I would have brought one for you.
I would have loved it.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, your book and writing your book.
Yeah.
What went into that?
That's a whole different animal. So that was just, it was a much faster production pace. 2018, I quit my job, and I said I'm going to try to make it golf. I didn't really think I could. I just knew I wanted to quit my job and give it a shot. It was really a jump, just a leap of faith.
Yeah.
I was doing sales, like many people. I was spending all my disposable income on golf, and I did it. I quit my job and traveled around the world just playing golf. Okay.
No, I'm sure with the loud noises in the background.
We are at the PGA show here, so they're announcing somebody lost their iPhone.
We had a fire alarm go off in a shoot earlier, so it all happens. We know how to work around this.
So when I do that in 2018, I started traveling. I had some money, and so I got an RV, and I'm doing this thing. Made a name for myself, and was able to string together job to job after that, kind of in golf, and then established myself really as a golf course photographer. Was kind of my passion. I just kind of went with what I love to do most.
That's the most important thing.
Some people call me an influencer, and then so I finished that up, and I said, this is a cool story. I'd love to write a book about it. I didn't know, so I started writing. I just wanted to write, and I put a couple hundred pages together, and then life kind of happened, and I kept doing jobs, and then 2023, this world record attempt happened, and then after I finished that, I was like, oh, I saw the story, from my quitting my job to becoming a world record holder and a golf course photographer. It was full circle. So I sat down and it was just writing.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, a lot of what's a synonym for this word?
Business is happening.
There we go. We're selling shorts here. Some blue shorts just got sold.
We got to talk about that. We got to talk about this lineup too.
Yeah.
With Golfish, we're all big fans of the Golfish brands. And what is it that brought you to Golfish about their apparel?
It was last year. It was last year at the show.
That was us too. Same thing.
Yeah, we stopped by, and Jamie's I liked him right away. It's like the people that you like, and that's what I do. I only like to work with people that I like. I'm not.
If everyone's wondering, Jamie's the guy in the salmon in the background.
They just grabbed some shorts.
Yeah.
They got some. They didn't have shorts last year.
No, I know this is coming out this year. This is going to be their new line with their golf shorts here. I'm excited about those.
These are pretty cool. I can't wait to try them on because I love the polos. I love the hoodies. I love everything they've got. And it's been a really, really enjoyable partnership.
Yeah.
And I'm not one of those guys that anything for the buck. I would just wear this stuff for.
That's why we wear it. It's just wearing it to.
Yeah.
It is the most comfortable stuff out there, and I wear it to work. I wear it on our podcast, and I mean,
I play golf. I go to happy
golf,
hour. I go,
business,
Yeah.
fishing.
It is funny because I've definitely taken some gigs where like they paid me to wear some stuff, and I just did it. But then as soon as it was off, I don't want to wear it. I put this on all the time. I wear it all day.
Yeah.
It's like my uniform.
I wore it on my flight from Indiana here because it was so comfortable to wear on the airplane.
So that's something you can say about it honestly, which is it's just nice. I'm just a happy guy to be doing what I do.
Yeah.
Such great clothing with such great people. Kind of wild that I get to do this, and people like the golfing dads come out and interview me, and I talk about my life, and people are like, what's this guy doing? He's even working.
So let me ask you one last question here, Patrick. What does the future hold? What are you looking forward to coming up here in the next year, or golf courses that you want to photograph or just play? Or stuff you want to do with the golfing dads? I'm just saying.
I mean, it's the list of golf courses I want to play and photograph. The more I play, like the longer it gets, which is kind of
it's already long. How does it get any longer?
Doesn't make any sense. Play 580 courses, and then it was like, okay, now I have like 500 more courses I want to play. It's never going to end. So I looked at it. It's like, what a treat that I can explore my entire life, and I'll never run out of a new something new. Not everybody's that lucky that they get to just keep exploring. And this is great because they build these things. And right now, it's a boom, and there's all sorts of great new golf.
I mean, we went through a point, back when the housing market crashed, where we had 11 golf courses in Florida closing to everyone that opened.
Yeah.
And it's kind of starting to flip, and it's going the other direction now. We're seeing more and more golf
you can even
courses.
see that just at the show here with how many more people are here each year and year.
Yeah, and it is. I think it's better this time because it's a little more. They're building on having lived through that history. Some of those guys are still very keenly aware of, like, this isn't going to work. With more purpose and intent. Better golf courses, too. The crop of architects that are out there now are really exciting.
Yeah.
So I just want to do more of this, more of the same. I don't think I'm going to go back on the road and do my RV thing again.
Okay.
Now that I'm a dad myself, right? I've got a little 9-month-old.
Oh, congrats!
Named Holiday, and she's just the most adorable. So if she's not coming with me, her and Rachel, and the whole fam, we'll bring them all out.
Yeah.
It's hard to get away from, because that's your priority shifts. We're like, golf like a maniac, and then you're like, oh no, I got to be the best dad I can be.
And that's what you want to be. I mean, we're the golfing dads. That's what we're about. I said, I joked. I said I played 12 rounds last year. I did, but I really didn't miss it. I wish I could play more. But now I'm getting to play with my son, and he's getting into golf. He's 5 years old.
Oh, great.
And so he came down on this trip with me and my wife, and now my parents came down. So they made a trip out of it themselves. They're spending the time at the parks here and having fun. But I'm having fun in the golf industry this week here. So you get that family time. That's what we're all about here. So enjoy that. That's going to be get those photos of your daughter.
It really is. We got her. She's taught her how to hold a club. She's not really. She can hold anything.
She's 9 months old. I mean, I'm not expecting much here. If you told me she's swinging and going, I'm like,
no.
Get her a tour card.
She kind of holds it, and like you can do the thing. She'll probably be a little golfer. We're not going to force it on her, but
I didn't force it on my son.
Yeah, no.
He's now forcing it on me. He's like, hey, Dad, can we go golf? Hey, can we go to the PGA Tour Superstore? And I'm like, okay, I used to be the one going to this, but now you're the one.
Yeah, it gets expensive once they start wanting
to. It's getting up there. So.
Yeah. But it is, it's exciting because then you get to pass on. I always tell her all the time, I don't think she understands me yet, that she's got the world's largest inheritance of golf junk coming her way.
There you go.
I have a scorecard from every golf course I played, and more ball markers and.
You have a room just for all those scorecards?
I do.
11,000.
It's all in the golf office. I have a golf office.
Nice.
It's got the walls are covered. The scorecards are in big boxes and stuff. But I feel. Hopefully she appreciates her dad's passion. But it's her inheritance. It's hers to keep. So now. She's got something to go for.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
All righty. Man, that was fun.
Yeah. Hey, wow, it's just us tonight.
Just us tonight. What's going on, Dave?
Hey, not much. That was, for me, this is like, I knew you guys were doing these interviews, and and everything. For me, this is some of the first times I'm seeing these pre-recorded interviews. I've seen a couple snippets, here and there. So, to watch the two of you do that and sit down with somebody like Patrick and, just rep this unbelievable, Golfish brand there. Kudos.
Speaking of Golfish,
Yeah.
level up your style with Golfish. Premium fit, bold design, and gear that looks as good in the clubhouse as it does over a cold one after the round. Whether you're teeing it up or tuning into the golfing dads, rep a brand that lives and breathes the game. Golfish, made for golfers by golfers. And don't forget, use that code Golfing Dads at checkout for 15% off. Got to pay some bills.
I'll get Bradley's comment out of the way right now. And
drinking some neat stuff tonight in a Glencairn, huh?
yeah, we're doing neat.
I've got
Why not?
I've got some strawberry lemonade in this glass from Coalina.
Yeah.
So let's start. Why don't we start?
Well, I got a question or two for you here before we start.
Yep.
About Patrick's book.
Yes.
Where can you find it?
That's a good question. It literally just came out, so I would assume Barnes & Noble and anywhere else. I will send him a note and ask that question. What's up, Ocala Golfer? What's up, Ush?
We'll get that out there, but
yeah.
The Golf Nomad, and that was just unbelievable. So moving on.
So let's talk first. Let's go down the road of Riviera this past weekend.
If Scotty Scheffler would stop spotting people leads on Thursdays, I don't know if it would be more exciting or less exciting because he would be just in the lead then.
Over the course of the last 18 months, I commented multiple times that Rory is the king of the backdoor top 10. And I think Scotty is trying to take that title from him right now. When you look at
consecutive top 10s, and he finally finished tied 12th this week.
One stroke. Well aware of where he finished.
Yeah, I know. Hey, at least you made the cut.
I think you run into with what Scotty's going through, it's real hard to just keep it up each and every week. And I think Scotty's still going to win 5 times this year? Yes. I also think that Scotty worries right now about 1 week and 1 week only in his radar. And
I think
the first week in April at Augusta.
Yeah, we've talked about it before. I think Scotty is just this generation's Tiger Woods.
Yep.
And, he is taking it 1 week at a time, but just like Tiger at this point in his career, that focus is on the first week of Augusta and making sure that you are ready to go and getting everything out of the way.
I think you run into this with Scotty where it is what it is. I mean, he was in dead last place starting the second round.
Yeah, he was, again, for the second week in a row, on the verge of missing the cut.
Made it on the number, top 12. Now, that being said, Scotty didn't win this week. Jacob Bridgman did. Yes. And Jacob Bridgman has been knocking on the door week after week. Made it to the Tour Championship last year, finished in the top 30. So he was already into the Masters. But when you look at what he has done in winning, and yes, built a lead and held on. And I want to give fellow...
there's a name you haven't heard in a long time is Kurt Kitayama. And
yes, Bridgestone. And I mean, I think what his last win was Bay Hill. I think. He won once. He won once last year.
Yeah, but he goes out. He shoots 64 on Sunday. He has 2 rounds of 64 in there, and ends up tied second with Rory, and a missed putt here or there, and we're either talking playoffs or we're talking about Kitayama here this week. As the winner.
I thought as Bridgman started the back 9, I was actually on the phone with one of our buddies, and I was chatting, and I said, I think Bridgman needs one more birdie. Because I felt like a bogey was coming. And the bogey came, and he got lucky. He didn't need one more birdie. But I will say this. I think that when you look at the body of his work this week, and you look at the marathon, not the sprint, Jacob Bridgman played a heck of a week of golf. And want to give him credit where credit is due. Kurt Kitayama, I mean, dude improved by 9 spots or something on Sunday, climbed the leaderboard. And Kurt, congratulations. And I loved seeing that Bridgestone mindset all over the TV on Sunday. I thought it was awesome. Really enjoyed watching that. But I think that when you look at what's gone on this year on the PGA Tour, there's been some great players win. And I think Jacob Bridgman is going to be a great, I look at him, Chris Goddard, and as things go, they are going to be the face of the PGA Tour at some point. This dude has a ton of talent, and it was fun to watch.
You say face of the PGA Tour, and I'm gonna ask you this question. I'm glad you said that, because I wanted to go down this, lead you down this road here. He finished tied 12th this week, and we're talking about Augusta, and he's a former winner. Jordan Spieth, is he back?
I'm glad you asked this question. I think
talking about a former face of the PGA Tour, right there in Jordan Spieth. He has been battling injuries, the wrist injury last year. He's had a couple good weeks here. He finished tied 12th. He with Scotty. He went 70-67, 70-66.
So here's my opinion of Jordan Spieth. Jordan chased distance. Didn't need to. The dude knew how to get the ball in the hole. And Ricky did the same thing at one point. And I wish we could all go back in time and smack them both and be like, don't do it. I think when you look at what Jordan has gone through, I think that he will have an easier time rising back up and being a Ryder Cup, President's Cup player than Ricky Fowler has had. I would not. I mean, I feel like Jordan Spieth can show up at Augusta National in top 15 no matter what shape his game is in.
Correct.
He just knows how to get around the golf course. And past champions at Augusta have figured out how to not let other players try and get in that locker room, because they all want to stay in that locker room. I mean, Freddie, Jack, they all contended in their 60s. I mean, I honestly think that if Tiger and in Tiger's press conference,
Tom Watson,
Tiger has hinted at it in his press conference where
we'll get the Tiger here in a little bit.
I think Tiger could show up at Augusta too and contend. Now, that being said, I think Jordan Spieth is on the verge. Like, I'm going to say this, Dave, when you willed Ricky to a win in Detroit a couple years ago, picking him like every week going in, I feel like Jordan is due. And I do think that we will see Jordan back in the winner's circle this year. So do I think that Jordan Spieth is back? I do, and I think the world better watch out when he gets that first win again, because I also think we're going to see him a lot on leaderboards the rest of the year.
I think I mentioned it earlier this year when you and I were talking and picking things, that I have him completing the career Grand Slam here in the next few years. I felt that he was coming back.
All right, so I'm going to ask you this question as you throw that out there. Who will win the career Grand Slam first, him or Scotty?
Scotty.
So you have Scotty winning the Open this year then?
No. I feel with where Scotty's game is today on February 24th as compared to Jordan's game. Now, you can ask me that same question in 6 months after we get a half season out of Jordan Spieth, and I may give you a different answer.
Now, Jordan needs Jordan needs the PGA.
Yeah. I don't think that's in his wheelhouse this year.
What up? What
But
up, Tyler?
that's, and we talk about, Jordan's best friend out there and JT, and he just started playing in TGL here this past couple weeks, coming off of a back injury. And there's another guy that you want to see get healthy and start competing again.
You missed the announcement last night then?
I've missed a lot of announcements.
Oh, on TGL last night, Justin is coming back next week at Bay Hill. He'll return to full competition next week at Bay Hill.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think, if I'm going to give you 3 names right now, I'm going to give you 4 names right now. Mm-hmm. You have to pick one of them to win a major this year.
Is Chris Gotterup one of my choices?
No.
Oh, because I already picked him to win the Open.
I'm going to give you JT, Ricky, Jordan.
I'm going to stop you right there because I'm going to take JT.
Okay. Wow, coming off of the injury. Okay. All right.
Yeah. That guy, you could put him on a wheeled out crutch and a knee brace and something else, and he will flop shot his way around a golf course like no other. So
I think
I don't need the 4 names. That would be my pick if you were giving me 4 names of guys making comebacks. Now Ricky's not really a comeback. Ricky's just Ricky, and it's always a great story with Ricky. But I think between Jordan and JT coming back from injury, I would take JT.
I think if Jordan gets his putter back rolling and he starts making putts,
watch out.
Watch out, because that will stack up victory. Because honestly, if he goes back to the days where he was the best 20-foot putter in the planet and holing out putts and pointing at the hole and yelling at Michael Greller, go get that, man, is that going to be fun to watch. I will sit and give me my Michael Jackson eating popcorn and Thriller action, because that's what I'm going to be doing.
Yeah, but in odds with Dave, I will miss more cuts with JT than I will picking Jordan Spieth.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? You know what all of these guys were that we were talking about? They were great junior golfers. And if your junior golfer is looking for some new clubs, get them started right with Upswing. They're a full kids lineup of clubs designed for proper fit, real performance, and serious fun. Upswing Golf, grow like a pro. Again, grow like a pro. Be able to change those clubs out. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Let's look ahead this week, and then I want to roundtable. I want to debate one other topic with you before we go. Florida Swing starts. First off, what is your favorite event of the Florida Swing, and why is it Bay Hill?
Because it's Bay Hill. It's hands down. It'll always be Bay Hill. Because we lived there and it was accessible for us as fans to go to, especially in the early to mid 2000s.
Now, I will argue
we got
to
see Arnie.
Yes, we did get to see Arnie. I will argue that I will say that the Players is still my favorite on the Florida Swing.
Because you were a walking scorer, so drink.
Yeah, I was waiting for Bradley to say drink on that one.
Yeah, but I think hands down Bay Hill, for where that course is, how it is laid out, the side parties going on in some of those houses, the bleacher setups.
You're giving me memories. You're giving me some memories there. Oh,
yes, I know. I think Bay Hill as an accessible walking around golf course for the fan is one of the better locations in golf. You don't need to go and sit in. Yes, it is great to sit in a luxury suite or something else, but that is a course that you can go and walk around and have a great time. or you could stand there with one of your best friends at the par 3 and just have a really good time during a pro-am.
And drink way too much. We won't go into that.
Yeah. No.
As we start the Florida swing and the changes talking about the PGA Tour schedule going into next year, this may be the last year of the Cognizant at PGA National. How are we feeling about that?
It's a shame, but it is what it is.
Yep. I think when you look at odd man out, I think the Cognizant is definitely out. I don't know that they keep Valspar either. They're going to keep Bay Hill and the players in Florida, but I don't know how those chips all fall out as we move forward into next year. So
I think there's certain tournaments that are out there that whether they are signature events or not will just never go away. You have, Jack's event. You have Arnie's event. I think that where they faced backlash was Byron Nelson's event when they were trying to cut that or move it and everything else that they were trying to do. I honestly think
the Nelson is going to get cut, unfortunately.
I know, but that's just one of those names in golf that you need to keep the history of that name and the tournaments like that alive.
I think the problem with the Nelson, and we'll get into this closer when we get into the Texas swing, is you have a tournament literally in the Twin Cities there in Dallas and Fort Worth in the Metroplex at Colonial, which is a much better golf course, and the Nelson has struggled as far as venue and things like that. And I think that's where I think you're going to see venue win because Colonial is an unbelievable venue in the history of Colonial because of Ben Hogan. Then you will see the Nelson, and I think that's going to be the problem with that one. So, when let's get into let's talk odds. Let's do our picks now because I know there's going to be a topic we want to talk about here. But before we do that, remember to lock in your yardages with the Nikon Cool Shot rangefinder line. Fast, accurate distance, slope technology, and crystal clear optics. So you can pick the right club with total confidence. Nikon Cool Shot. See it, shoot it, stick it. Again, best rangefinder in golf, and enough said on that.
Official rangefinder of the LPGA and the Golfing Dads Tavern.
Yes. We're just the Golfing Dads now, Dave. Remember, we changed our name. So let's go down the okay, Glencairn. Okay. Where are we with odds this week? And what are also, can we set a prop bet on how many of the names you mispronounce and going over the odds?
I'm just going to say the names I can pronounce.
Oh, okay. It's a very valid comment. So
it is. But that's why people tune in to, what's going to come out of Dave's mouth next. And I think, maybe when I do make my triumphant return with you guys to the PGA show, it's just going to be that much more fun.
Okay. Who got leading the way?
Ryan Gerard coming in at about 18.5 to 1. Shane Lowry at 19. Nikolai and Rasmus Hogard at 21.5 and 23.5 respectively. Michael Thorn Bornson at 24.5. Keith Mitchell at 26. Brooks Koepka playing this week at 29. Will Zalatoris there at 38. You go down the list. Max Homa is there this week. He's at 53. Mackenzie Hughes is at 54. Tom Kim is playing. He's at 67. Gary Woodland is playing this week. He's at 84. So Joel Damon is there. He's at 88. Bo Hausler at 98. Kuchar is playing. He's 100 to 1. So Webb Simpson sighting at 120 to 1.
Webb's such a good dude.
Yeah.
Such a good dude. All right, you have the first pick, Dave.
Nick Dunlap is there this week. He's 210 to 1. So Camilo Villegas is there. Greg is, for some reason picked him for something last year. I think all three of us have already made our picks this week. I already have them locked in, and we went Team Europe Ryder Cup. I think on this one, No, Bradley, that's always been a drinking game topic.
That's been part of the rules.
That's part of the show.
I know who are okay. So one of those guys that we're picking is from Massachusetts.
Well, I'm taking Shane Lowry.
Okay, you're taking I'm going to take the guy who's not part of Team Europe Ryder Cup. That could be on the American team at some point. I'm going to take Michael Thorborson.
Yes, and Greg took Nikolai Hogart. Okay. He took the other brother.
I don't see a lot now.
Well, Bradley, we weren't allowed to pick Rory or Scotty this week anyway.
No, we weren't.
I could have. I haven't taken Rory yet this year. So
unbelievable. You know what else you need to do
next week? Maybe Dave, Ricky Fowler. Who knows?
You're kind of picking up the rear right now. So what you need to do is you need to dial in your game with the Bridgestone Tour B featuring Mindset. The visual cue helps you focus, commit, and roll it pure. Same tour level performance now with a smarter way to lock in. Find your fit and play the Tour B.
Yeah, I need to drill some mindset into my head for my picks. I am way behind in our team scoring average here.
So in Tiger's press conference last week, the question got asked, and I was surprised he was as forthcoming as he was. Question got asked about the Ryder Cup captaincy. He said they had been in conversation, and he has said that he is still pondering it, doesn't understand what the commitment will be, this, that, and the other. Which to me was like, That's why they haven't made an announcement yet, but we'll see. So the AP is now reporting that Tiger Woods has been given a soft deadline of prior to the Masters to decide whether he would like to be the captain of the U.S. Ryder Cup team in 2027 at Adair Manor. Woods is currently the only candidate.
Correct. Because I think right now, it especially going back to Europe after what happened, this past year. We've seen it before with picking captains to go to Europe, thinking that just because they had a winning record over there, that it would transcend to winning captaincy for the American team. Now, I will say this with the giant grain of salt caveat and anything else you want to put on this. Just like a coach or a coach in football, a manager in baseball, you could be the best that there is, but it takes the players that are out there, whether you pick them or whether they got there on points, it takes them performing that makes you either look like a stud or a dud. And it is tough, very tough to say that about Tiger, because if those guys underperform, it affects his legacy.
So I'm going to ask this question. Let's just say Tiger doesn't take this, and we're now at the match. They would have already announced the Ryder Cup captain by this point if Tiger had said yes. And we already know
Correct.
That. So Tiger gets to Augusta week and he says, you know what, in his presser, because he'll be there, and turning it down. I don't feel that with the changes that are coming to the PGA Tour schedule for next year, I don't feel like I can commit the time necessary to do this. Because that's what the answer is going to be, just in case anyone wants to know. Who would your pick be to be the next Ryder Cup captain?
I think it's got to be. I thought Keegan was a great pick. He was still in and out of that every week. He understood the locker room. He understood those guys. I just think some of, not necessarily what Keegan did as pairings. I think the pairings themselves underperformed, but that ultimately you don't fire players, you fire the manager. And, we've seen it as baseball people, that has happened a lot. I want to try and take somebody that is still relevant in the game and still there. I like Cooch. He's still out there playing. Pretty much, he understands the players.
He is about to turn. Did he just turn 50?
Yeah, I believe so. Bradley, I'm sure there's contingencies. It's just there's been no leakage of it.
Kucher's 47.
So I think, which was about the age Zach Johnson, was when he captained as well too. I think you save Tiger for 4 years for when you come back to the States.
I'm not going to argue that. I think that's a great idea to have. I think you have to look at a few things if you're going to take a captain. We're going to go over there. We've lost, obviously, the last 2 Ryder Cups.
Mm-hmm.
And both of those, one being on American soil. And so if Tiger doesn't go, I like the idea of Cooch. I think that's actually a good name to throw out there. I don't know. I think the problem that I have is the same problem I had with Keegan, is that Keegan hadn't been an assistant captain or a vice captain on a Ryder Cup team yet. So he didn't know how to act. He didn't know the things to do. And so I think you honestly have to go with somebody in that room, somebody in that circle that's been the vice captain or a captain.
You go back to like Jim Furyk.
No. I take Keegan over there as the captain.
I want to see Keegan. I think his game is still good enough that I think he can qualify himself.
I'm not arguing that.
Be there. I think he wants. Yeah. I think he wants to play in this one more time. I think Keegan deserves a second captaincy down the road.
Yeah.
I don't know if it is a back-to-back Ryder Cup situation now for him to do that. The
other guy that I think you look at that I think would be that I honestly think would end up being the pick if Tiger turns it down is Stewart Cink.
Oh, there's a good one. Yeah.
And I think you see Kuchar go with him as a vice captain.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Stewart Cink will be the. I think if Tiger doesn't go to Adair as the team captain, it's Stewart Cink's.
Yeah,
it's my personal opinion. So,
I don't think you until they get a better handle on. And we've talked about it before. I think they need to redo the Ryder Cup scoring points, and not be
I'm not opening that can of worms tonight.
No,
I'm not opening that can of worms tonight. So.
And you don't want to see Tiger's legacy in the game affected by a poor captaincy outing, especially in Europe.
The problem that you already have, though, is the Tiger's Ryder Cup legacy is not really good.
It's not great.
He's got a losing record as a player.
But people don't look at that. They just say it's Tiger Woods.
Correct. But Tiger's Ryder Cup legacy is not very good. He was a part of one winning team at Brookline. Hasn't been on a winning team other than Brookline. His President's Cup legacy is, second to none. But I do think that Tiger, when you look back at his, I don't think Stricker's got a possibility.
DL3's
already done it twice. He's not coming back. They won't bring him back and move him through. Stricker's also there, but I honestly think Stewart Cink would be the one that would probably be going to captain this team. Stricker will probably be with him, and so will Furyk and maybe Webb. Would probably be the group that goes.
Yeah.
But that being said, one last thing, Dave. And I know that those people in the Northeast don't want to hear this, but I had to use this past weekend. Don't let the sun wreck you around. Protect your skin with Jacket sunscreen. Lightweight, non-greasy, and built for the long days on the golf course. Stay protected, stay focused, and keep your game looking good. Jacket up.
We're going to be mid 60s here on Friday and 8 to 12 inches of snow on Sunday.
I think I'm playing golf Saturday and Sunday this week. I'm not sure though. It's at least on the agenda.
Yeah.
So
nope.
Hey, well, I hope everybody has a great week. Let's hope Greg is feeling better. He is a little under the weather. That's why he's not here tonight. So get well soon, buddy. And we will see you next week.
Cheers.
Okay.